world is incredibly diverse and holds countless strange and fascinating things. Even if we spend a few years or an entire lifetime, we still cannot uncover everything. Because bizarre customs related to the deceased or unusual traditions like only giving birth to daughters are all things that are hard to explain. Huya Zhao. So which villages are those, and what makes them so strange and special? Join Brother Vu in exploring the 9 most bizarre and unique villages in the world in the video below. This village of women unconditionally longs for men. Beloven, a beautiful valley located north of Rio de Janeiro, is where I live. The village named Nova de Cordio nestles among fields of ferns, banana trees, and countless vibrant golden flowers. Attention ISN. More specifically, it's the women in the village. So what was so special that it caught everyone's attention and made them care so much? That's because most of the villagers are women, and they are as beautiful as vibrant paper flowers blooming in the valley. This region of Brazil is renowned as the cradle of stunning beauties. Hold on, many people are still single and hoping to find true love. Even many visitors to the village couldn't help but be surprised when witnessing firsthand the entire daily life and routines of the local women. Especially the longing for love of the breathtakingly beautiful young girls in the flag-fluttering village. The women here engage in farming, raising cows and chickens, and growing various crops and tubers to meet their daily needs while also selling them in the market to earn extra income. Here, about 80 women are working in agriculture. When asked about the peculiarity of this all-women village, many have traced back through history to explore the village's formation since the late 19th century. This village was founded by Maria Santorinja de Lima. The woman settled here after being accused of adultery, expelled from the church, and forced to leave her home in 1891. Nowadays, there are still some men living in the village, but they spend the whole week working as miners or laborers in nearby big cities. Belo Horizonte, the women here consider themselves a distinct group in the heart of Brazil's countryside. They always missed those men dearly, so their hearts yearned for the weekends when those men would return. See, I wasn't exaggerating when I said this village is thirsty for men, was I? Ladies, if you're looking for an ideal husband, come to Nova by Cadeiro right away. Find a stunningly beautiful wife who could topple cities and kingdoms, just as you. The residents of Hakwe, a village in the Wips region of the Netherlands, are living a simple life. But there's one thing that sets them completely apart. Everyone here suffers from forgetfulness. Hakwe officially began operations in 1993 as a nursing home following the Tien Shing hospital model. But the staff quickly realized there was a more effective, humane way to provide care. Gradually, Hakwe began to absorb elements from the outside world. Hakwe is essentially a microcosm of the outside world, assisting individuals with mild to severe dementia, alleviating some of their suffering in their final years. This strange village has a total of 23 houses. The house has about 6 to 7 people living together, with one caretaker responsible for cooking and transporting everyone to events. Help them shop while ensuring people's safety. At Hakwe, staff are trained to focus on highlighting what residents can do, rather than emphasizing their limitations. Han also added that people can absolutely use cash if they want to. However, only a handful of people are clear-headed enough to do that. And they often use that money to buy small things like toothpaste or glue. People with Alzheimer's disease and memory impairment are advised to maintain physical activity to keep the mind and body healthy and energetic. Research shows that simply sitting on a chair placed outdoors can help improve mood and enhance overall well-being. Shillong, the capital of India's Meghalaya state, is about a 2-hour taxi ride from the Khasi Hills. These hills sit at an elevation of nearly 4,500 meters above sea level. Up there lies the famous village of Masanram, recognized as the wettest place on Earth by the record books. Heavy rainfall occurs when summer air currents pass over the moist plains of Nerd state, absorbing moisture before moving northward into India. When the clouds drift down the steep hillsides of Meghalaya, they become so compressed in the atmosphere that they can no longer hold their moisture, unleashing near endless rains upon this village. This is also the wettest region on the planet, where relentless downpours pour endlessly. June and July are the peak rainy months of the year, when average rainfall can reach nearly 7,000 millimeters. Forest fires often occur after rainfall. To clear the path, the village men will be paid $2.60, equivalent to over 60,000 Vietnamese dong, to work in the fields or outdoors, even in the rain. Clubs. The hat is tightly woven from bamboo strips or palm leaves, wide enough to fully cover from head to heels. This umbrella not only effectively shields against rain but is also far more convenient than traditional raincoats when working. The people here often have to be ready to re-roof their houses. Layering multiple sheets of roofing metal is advisable to prepare for heavy rain, preventing disruptions to daily activities. One of the most charming and beautiful features of this region is the gracefully curving bridges spanning the rain-flooded valleys. Over many centuries, the people here have bent young rubber trees to form unique living bridges. Last far longer than artificial wooden structures, which are prone to damage after just a few years. The distinct climate is also a factor that makes this place a unique destination, attracting a large number of visitors. Help people increase their income. Moreover, the rains will help them store water for the dry season, which is extremely harsh in this region. The state of Meghalaya has up to 70% of its area covered by forests. As a result, Mausaram village is also covered in the fresh green of trees, offering a clean and pleasant atmosphere. You might find it hard to believe, but for the Turahan people, a village nestled deep in the rugged mountains of Indonesia's Sulawesi Island, where the most significant event is death itself. To them, death is not the end, but a passage to a more beautiful heaven or a new world. According to Turahan tradition, they do not rush to bury the deceased. Instead of burying immediately, they keep the deceased's body at home for many months, sometimes even extending to several years, while saving up enough money to hold a proper ordination ceremony. During this time, the body is preserved using malin embalming to prevent decomposition, while still being treated as a living member of the family. They continued to care for the deceased by bringing food, talking to them, and even taking photos together with the departed. The funeral, lasting a full 12 days, was an exceptionally grand and solemn event. In this event, the family donated dozens of buffaloes and pigs, with costs potentially reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not hard to understand why people don. I don't know what others think about this custom, but according to the locals, they believe this is not merely a simple ceremony to commemorate the deceased. It is also an expression of deep reverence and strong attachment to one's ancestors. Therefore, the villagers still preserve a unique ritual called Menanur, Lakang Dia. In this festival, the remains of the deceased are exhumed from their graves to be cleaned, dressed in new clothes, and then brought back to visit their former home. This is an occasion for family and friends to gather together and enjoy a warm, cozy party, to honor and remember the presence of those who have passed in their lives once more. In ancient rituals, the Toraja people express deep reverence and love for their ancestors. At the same time, they believe that carefully tending to the deceased's body will bring luck and happiness to the entire family. Today, the customs of the Toraja people are no longer confined to just grand funerals or the Menene ritual. Many people even take photos or selfies with the deceased bodies of their relatives, showcasing a harmonious blend of traditional charm and modern style. Of course, once the ceremony concludes, the body will be returned to the coffin and presented with new offerings. Gifts such as watches, glasses, or jewelry are not just ordinary items. They also express deep reverence and profound respect. Oh dear Mr. Tra, I don't know how to properly express my reverence, but personally, my heart is already deeply moved. I don't understand why so many people, especially tourists, choose to come to this place. They use the crane's boom to take photos with the piles of crushed car wrecks scattered chaotically. The villagers of San Antonio de los Cobres, located high in the Andes Mountains, Argentina, there is an unusual ability to absorb arsenic levels 20 times higher than normal. This threshold is considered safe. Arsenic is one of the most dangerous poisons known to mankind, and in the past, it was once used to poison kings and rulers. Even seasoned politicians or brash upstarts take months to play their games. However, researchers have discovered a small group, the people living in the Andes Mountains of São Zoe, the northwestern region of Argentina, can withstand this type of toxin. Thousands of years ago, the indigenous people of this village, The village is situated high in the Andes Mountains, in the Puna region of Argentina. Has evolved the genetic ability to metabolize, to minimize the harmful effects of arsenic on the human body. Globally, arsenic poisoning due to the use of contaminated water or food is an alarming issue. More than 137 million people have been negatively affected by this incident. Even mild poisoning can harm the heart, lungs, kidneys, and liver. May even increase the risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. At high doses, they can harm the immune system. Seizures, and in severe cases, can even lead to coma or death. However, the people living in this village seem to have made remarkable progress toward more effective arsenic treatment. For the past 11,000 years, the people living here have been descendants of the Atacameño tribe. Had lived, carried out daily activities, and used water sources contaminated with arsenic, arsenious oxide. Dr. Karim Robert, an environmental medicine researcher at Lund University, Sweden, and its partners have discovered that, between 7,000 and 10,000 years ago, the inhabitants of this region underwent several genetic changes. Their bodies thus have a better ability to resist arsenic. They can withstand arsenic concentrations 20 times higher than the safe permissible limit. Arsenic exists in the bedrock of volcanic areas and some regions with particularly high concentrations. After that, they were released into the streams, water sources that local people commonly use for daily activities. After that, the people living in this area were exposed to extremely high levels of arsenic. But the metabolic process is more efficient and less toxic. The village went 9 straight years without a single boy being born. Folks, in many Asian countries, the surplus of males and shortage of females has become a persistent and pressing issue. In the small village of Mieście Oksańskie in southern Poland, near the border with the Czech Republic. Now we're facing the opposite situation, specifically, an excess of women and a shortage of men. The village of Mieście Oksańskie has around 300 residents, most of whom are women. And the people here say that this story has been around for a very long time. Most of them are members of the local volunteer fire brigade. This force is mostly just the weak kind. This village is facing a severe gender imbalance. For the past 9 years, no family in the village has given birth to a son. To this day, strangely enough, experts still haven't been able to pinpoint the exact cause. In this village in southern Poland, couples only give birth to daughters. Most people believe it's all just a coincidence. Just like the old habit of hoarding winter supplies. Convenient news about the power struggle among factions in the village of Mieście Oksańskie. The news began to spread across Poland, and was of particular interest to Professor Rafał Błoski, head of the Department of Medical Mobility at Warsaw Medical University. Mr. Błoski believes that scientists need to conduct deeper research on how to handle the enemy, review birth statistics and conduct family interviews. Examine the connection between the mobility of married couples. Thanks to favorable environmental conditions, we can uncover the answer to this mystery. He emphasized the need to verify information about the families of the girls in this area. Are the two of you related in any way, even distantly? Next, we need to interview the residents living in this area. At the same time, environmental inspections must also be conducted. Only then can I gather more evidence. Though I understand that men and women are equal. But the entire session dragged on for a full 9 years. Not even having a close group of guy friends is kind of worrying, isn't it? Therefore, this issue is no longer about gender equality. Maybe it's in the south or the north or something, but this matter is also tied to many other issues. For example, they might be suffering from some strange illness, or it could be due to the living environment here. Is there anything concerning about your current diet? Say it over and over, it's still the same. In my opinion, a balanced gender ratio is still the best. Does anyone else think the same way I do? Don't forget to leave a comment below. The village where the people have only one kidney. Hasi village in Nepal is an impoverished village. Nearly all the people here are forced to sell one of their kidneys to survive. Because this happens so often that this village is also known as the village. Brokers frequently visit the village and nearby areas to persuade impoverished locals to sell a kidney. A tactful and empathetic approach is necessary. The con artists often deceive the simple, honest villagers. Go to India for surgery. We have heard the whole story. Humans only need one kidney to live a healthy life. If one kidney is removed, the body will grow a new kidney. Geeta, the mother of 4 children, is one of the many victims of this flood. She sold one of her kidneys for a mere $2,000. She used that money to buy a house. But it was destroyed in the earthquake. In 2015, I took a trip to Nepal. Not all kidney traders patiently wait for the villagers. Many people have fallen victim to kidnappings, being forced to donate kidneys, or cruelly deceived. They needed surgery for another medical condition, but had their kidney removed without even knowing it. Many victims were murdered just to steal their kidneys. The harvested kidneys are sold to wealthy individuals and need at a price 6 times higher than normal. Despite being illegal, around 7,000 kidneys are sold each year in Nepal. The cleanest village in the world is where women are in charge. Hiding modestly in a small corner amidst the ethereal mist of Meghalaya, in northeast India. Malinong is an exceptionally clean village, so much so that in 2006, it made a strong impression with its outstanding sanitation standards. This village was even honored by UNESCO as the cleanest village in the world. The village has only about 90 households with nearly 500 residents, forming a close-knit community. Though it's a small place, it has all the amenities like a church, a school, and the locals also have a very unique way of life. The people here always value nature and strive to protect their living environment by every possible means. They regard protecting nature and keeping the village clean as a precious tradition to be preserved and passed down to future generations. All the streets are lined with covered trash bins. Whenever trash or fallen leaves appear, they are promptly cleaned up and placed in the bins. Most of the long roads around the village were eerily empty, with not a soul in sight. Plastic bags are completely banned in the village, and all waste is environmentally friendly. The waste is transported to a dug pit in the forest near the village to naturally decompose into fertilizer. Smoking in the village is also a strictly prohibited behavior. Located in the high rainfall region of the Himalayas, the people of Molinong have utilized this natural advantage to collect and store rainwater. They used natural hollowed stones, placing them in front of the door to collect rainwater. For the people of Molinong, everything belonging to nature carries a pristine beauty and sacred value. To buy essential household items, villagers often have to walk nearly 2 hours to reach the central market in town. There are very few vehicles traveling in this area. The old roads are also present around this area. However, most tourists prefer hiking through the rainforest to fully immerse themselves in the beauty of nature. Another interesting point worth noting is that despite being located in a remote area, isolated from the modern world. But this doesn't make Molinong a remote or backward village in the slightest. Here, we take pride in a 100% literacy rate and a fairly complete primary education system. The people here regularly interact with neighboring cities and towns, and their lifestyle is by no means outdated. Another surprising thing about this village that I can't overlook is how the people live under a matriarchal system. This means women hold the ultimate decision-making power in the village. As surname, not the husband. The consequence of this is a society where daughters are regarded as the pivotal element in clan succession. And the entire estate will be transferred to the youngest daughter, along with granting her the right to bear the family name. Since they were young, the girls here have had to shoulder many responsibilities. From as early as 8 years old, the girls in the village were entrusted with managing and overseeing all household affairs. The woman in the family often has to care for 3 generations living under one roof. Though living isolated from the outside world, the girls in Molinong still enjoyed a fairly free life and were respected by everyone. Do you think this village is worth living in? An ideal place for us to freely breathe in the fresh air. Reduce sweating whenever fatigue strikes, right when you need it most. The village where women have multiple lovers yet remain faithful. The twilight village of Lichu. Lichiachui village is one of the settlements of the Moshu ethnic group, located in the western region of South China. For over 2,000 years, the approximately 40,000 Moshu people have maintained a matriarchal system, meaning property is inherited through the female line, and children take their mother's surname. The marriage of the Hmong people is not arranged by parents but is usually based on the voluntary love between both parties. The most famous is the walking marriage custom, a tradition still practiced by some Hmong, or Hmong, people today. The Mo Shu people often gather at night, creating an open space for both genders to make friends or seek romantic partners. If they feel incompatible, they can easily end the relationship. The Hmong people face no social stigma for remaining unmarried. The village of Li Chia Chui has over 70 households belonging to 26 different clans, all of whom are members of the Mo Shu tribe. This ethnic group primarily inhabits the provinces of Yunnan and Sichuan, which border the Tibet Autonomous Region. The Kingdom of Women in Western Liang. The Mo Shu ethnic group primarily inhabits the Moli region around Lake Lagu. Lagu Lake, with its breathtaking scenery, never fails to captivate photographers, film crews, and travelers alike. Instead, the writing carries the distinct cultural imprint of a matriarchal system, along with legends of the Western Liang Kingdom of Women. What intrigues tourists the most is likely the legend of the Mo Shu women who have multiple lovers. Perhaps so, but it's very rare for a Mo Shu woman to have more than one lover at a time. Anthropologists refer to this system as serial monogamy. Most Mo Shu people tend to build lasting relationships and rarely change partners, though there has never been a specific rule about this. Some couples stay together for life. The age celebration ceremony associated with walking marriages is also an intriguing legend. This ritual is a significant milestone in the life of the Mo Shu people. When a child turns 13, the family holds a coming-of-age ceremony. On this occasion, the girl is given a dress, and the boy is given a pair of trousers. You may rest in a private room called the flower room and invite your partner to join the noble walking activity. The walking ceremony is a prominent ritual in the traditional culture of the Ma Shou people. During the day, the male and female spouses still live together under the roof of their extended family. When night falls, if a woman turns on the green light, the man frequently visits his lover's house, spends the night, and then returns to his extended family home the next morning. Though love between two people may last long, but the Mo Shu man had never lived with his wife's family. And conversely, the couple Mo Shu also do not share assets with each other. You see, the earth always holds countless mysteries and surprises. And these 9 bizarre villages with their strange customs stand as the clearest proof of that. From the remote villages hidden amidst the vast sea of sand, to the communities living along the mountain slopes, or lands where people preserve strange and unique customs and traditions. Every village holds strange tales, so strange that not everyone who hears them dares to believe. How about you? Which village do you like the most? Do you know any other unique villages? Please leave your comment in the comment section below. Remember to give a like to the mysterious universe. Goodbye for now, see you again soon.